If you've been looking for a traffic network to join and actually spend your money on, it could be quite confusing because there's just so many choices out there. And having so many choices may end up resulting in indecision because you're just not sure as to what network that is worthy of your advertising budget. So, if you ever have troubles in the future, what I want to do in this lecture is give you three characteristics of a good traffic network that will allow you to run affiliate campaigns. So, in this course, I'm actually going to give you a specific traffic network that you should consider, but I also want to give you principles that you could follow should things change in the future, or should you decide that, hey, I want to scale up on a different network, and so on. So, the first characteristic, in my opinion, that you should follow when looking for a solid traffic network is volume. And what I mean by that is that you should be able to reach millions of people, tens of millions, potentially even hundreds of millions of people through that traffic network if you're going to consider it. And the reason why is because if you start off on a network that has small volume and is potentially new, the problem is if you do end up creating a profitable campaign, you could only scale it up to so much. If it could only get you 1,000 visitors a day, sure, that might be a good start for you, but if you turn that campaign profitable, what if you just put that effort into a bigger network that had bigger volume, and that same amount of effort would have paid off much bigger dividends? So that's the main problem that I see with new affiliates that tend to favor smaller unknown networks because they find it potentially less intimidating. But in my opinion, that's a big mistake because the amount of effort you put into it has less potential to pay off big. So, number one characteristic, in my opinion, there must be a lot of volume. There must be considerable amount of reach that'll help you have your ad be seen by potentially millions of people. That's number one. Number two, the second characteristic I believe that the network must fulfill is that it must be affiliate friendly. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, there's some networks out there that have a lot of volume, but they're not affiliate friendly. For example, Facebook ads. That is one of them. In the very beginning, the typical trend is when a new network comes on the scene, they tend to allow anybody to run ads. So they'll accept affiliate campaigns and anything else that might be considered more aggressive. They might consider health campaigns, Bitcoin campaigns, investing campaigns, and so on. And Facebook did do that for a while. When it started to get bigger, more people were spending money there, bigger brands start spending money on Facebook, they tend to get more strict and they tend to ban and restrict campaigns that might be affiliate focused, they might be health focused, financial focused, etc. There's just more restrictions there. So it's not as affiliate friendly compared to other networks like native ads, for example. So that's another thing to consider is that one has to have volume and two, it should be affiliate friendly. And the third thing I would want to recommend is that that network should be highly reputable. Now, yes, you could consider recommendations from friends, from peers or colleagues in the affiliate marketing industry, but I would also suggest that you observe networks that actually have hard data as to how many campaigns are being run on that network. For example, I talk about this in another lecture, but to recap, for example, if you go into your spy tool and you look at ad networks, you can see the amount of campaigns being run on certain networks. And I'm using Anstrax. I'll talk about this in a future lecture. And you can see the amount of campaigns being run on these native ad networks here. And to me, that's a much better indicator because it shows the amount of money being spent on that network. If more money is being spent on that network, then it's highly likely that it's more reputable, it's more more volume, it's more profitable, and so on. For example, MGID has nearly a million campaigns on their network. I never heard of this. Legatus, I'm not even sure how you spell this, or Impact Ad, they have only 188 campaigns. So does it really make sense to spend money on there? Mm, Potentially no, because it's less proven. It may not have the amount of volume and so on. So that's what the three main recommendations I would suggest to you. Yeah, I do recommend MGID, and I'll be using MGID throughout this course. But again, I want to give you principles so that should things change in the future, should you want to scale up, and should you want to develop a more self-reliant type of habitual practice when you're pursuing affiliate marketing, I suggest you keep these principles in mind, as they'll help you find newer networks or newer opportunities for you. So those are just my recommendations. This is Paulo Purdue from libertyblueprint.com. See you in the future lectures. Take care.